Welcome back guys. Today I'm setting myself a challenge to compress 3 of my solar filter videos, which are 25 minutes long, into one solar filter video which is going to be about 10 or 11 minutes long. Make sure to pause so you can write down the materials and tools that you're going to need.
So the first step of the procedure is to measure the internal and external diameter of the lens.
The craft paper is used to make a tube which fits onto the lens of the camera and a couple of rings to hold the filter in place.
Next step is to use craft paper.
So we're going to mark out 2 rings, one for the internal diameter of the lens, one for the external diameter of the lens, and then we're going to cut those out.
So I'll show you this. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but there they are.
Once we've cut out the 2 rings that hold the filter in place, we then need to cut a 3rd ring which will attach to the tube.
Alright, so you should end up with a couple of rings like this. Sorry, the internal diameter of this circle is going to be the external diameter of your camera. So we've got an external diameter of 82. I want it to be a little bit loose, so I'm going to go a little bit more than 82, not much because I still want it to be relatively tight. So I'm thinking maybe 84. We'll go with 84. And the external diameter is going to be the same as the other ones, which is 60. Right, so this one should be the same external diameter as those ones. Alright. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit tricky, and we're going to need to start using the craft knife. So I'll get that set up and I'll come straight back.
That concludes the compression of the first episode from 7.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, so I'm on track. The 3rd ring, we don't cut the centre out, we cut it into wedges with the craft knife, and we fold those back so they form small triangles, and those get attached to the tube to hold the 3rd ring onto the tube.
Alright, so as you can see, it's all been cut all the way around, so hopefully we can fold each of these individually up out of the way. Alright, so hopefully, if we've got this right, that is, hopefully you can see, that is actually sitting around the outside of the lens. Now, one of the things you're going to want to do, you don't really need these to be as long as they are, so you can trim them off. So the length of the tube is going to be dependent on the length of your lens. So if you've got a very short length, then the tube's going to need to be shorter.
So the next steps are, you would want to measure out the circumference of the lens and mark the cut, and then you want to attach a small amount of felt to the bottom of it.
That is where your overlap is. So when you come to do this part, it sits like that. Alright, Now, what you want to do is you want to trim this slightly, because right now, at this point here, it's a double thickness. So now you have a little tab. Now we're going to use our double-sided tape again. So we're going to mark where that little wedge got cut out. And make sure that we don't put any double-sided tape here, we're just going to do it here. Okay, so this is now the inner tube. So if you recall, we've done this piece here. This is the inner tube. So it sits inside there like that. And then all of these fold up. So we have no more tape around the bottom there. All those fold onto that tape there. We then have an outer tube that goes on, and there'll be more tape going around, and the outer tube holds it all nice and snug together.
Okay guys, that's the end of the second compression. That one was 8.5 minutes long, but now I've used up over 6 minutes of my 7.5 minutes that I gave myself. So, might be looking at a bit of a fail. We'll see.
Okay, so I've made the outer tube. I've stuck the inner tube together with the double-sided tape. I'm now putting on the double-sided tape to attach to the base ring, and I've overlapped it so that it's giving more strength to the join here.
So the next part is to put the tube all together. We're going to attach the inner tube to the round mounting disc, and then we're going to put on an outer tube to strengthen it.
Alright, so the next bit is getting the filters attached onto here.
So you use the double-sided tape and attach that to the rings that we made for the solar filter.
Right, so you end up with a couple of discs like this. Then we're going to stick the solar filter on. So I've got both of my rings ready. The tape is ready to go. At this point you really want to start being unbelievably careful. Now I want to stress this, you don't want to be stretching this. I've seen a lot of videos where they're picking it up and cutting it out and doing all these random things with it. You really want to just drop one ring onto it and gently press that down. Then you use the more sensitive scissors and you very, very carefully cut this. So now I've got the backing paper off. This is the reverse side. Alright, so I've just cut out a new ring, which I'm going to use as a little bit of additional strength for this ring here, which is going to be supporting the solar filter. Yep, that's a bit more solid now. So, okay, so here we have it. It's ready to accept the solar filter. It's nice and simple. We just line that up and on it goes, and then just squeeze it down. Now, one other thing that you can do, which I'm going to do because it solves the problem with all the sticky tape and things around the sides, is you can use electrical tape, and just black electrical tape is fine, and you can run it around outside and just pinch it on. And you have your finished solar filter for your camera. So, and by rights that should just nice and neatly slide onto the camera. And there we have it. One solar filter. Okay, so I managed to compress the 3 of the solar filter videos that took up 25 minutes total viewing down to about 11 minutes. Not too bad. However, if you want to have a look and see the originals, you can have a look at episode 1 over here, or episode 2 down here, or episode 3 over here. And if you like the videos, make sure you hit on the subscribe button. Thanks guys, see you next time.